Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, we're going to get right into the mix here as we look at where the markets are trading. And again, what we're seeing here on an intraday basis, if I zoom in, is a market that is very, very quiet on this Monday. And again, the date is Monday, January 7th, 2013. The S&P is down about 7.5. Dow is down almost 70, and the NASDAQ is down about 11 points on the day. Now, the key here is to recognize that the markets are very quiet across the board. You can see initially we kind of hovered along this sloping line. We then inched down, and since then we've been going sideways. Volume is only 60 million on the SPY, and it's nearing the 2:30 p.m. time frame. Now, the key to today's action is multiple. You have some stocks that are very, very strong today, and some stocks that are very, very weak. The strong stock, namely, would be Amazon, AMZN. Let's punch that up and take a look. This is off its highs, although coming back up just a little bit, up $8.80 after an analyst at Morgan Stanley upgraded it. All right, they gave it an overweight with a target of $325 per share. Now, while this is a great and dandy upgrade and the stock is up today, I would have to caution everyone out there to recognize that the stock was essentially trading at all-time highs prior to this upgrade. And again, those of us that remember Apple, if you remember Apple, folks, we saw Apple trading at $700 a share just a few months ago when analysts were upgrading that to $1,000 price targets, and that was at its all-time highs as well. So believe it or not, when someone upgrades a stock at its 52-week or all-time highs, I usually take it with a grain of salt. Does it get a one-day buying frenzy? Absolutely, because the retail investor rushes in, and many people, jump on board, shorts cover, and so forth. But once that falls out, just like with Apple on the day after a bunch of these upgrades opened higher as well, we see usually stocks trading lower. And oftentimes institutions utilize these upgrades to sell into them. So you have the retail investor jumping in and then the institution just selling into those shares. And that's usually what happens. So again, just be aware of that. It's very reminiscent of Apple to me, where Apple was upgraded at $700 a share. And where's Apple trading now? If we look at the chart today, you can clearly see that Apple's trading down $4 more today to $522.82. And again, I mean, this is where the upgrades were happening, right up here, folks. This is $700 on Apple, and today we're now seeing Apple trading near the 520 area. So that's almost a $200 drop from the 52-week highs on Apple. And again, you'd hate to think that Amazon would be a repeat performer of that, but in all fairness, I mean, the charts are not that dissimilar. I mean, if you zoom out on the charts here on Amazon, I mean, you have a dramatic rise up. And if you look at the long-term chart of Apple, same chart. I mean, here's the Apple chart, except Apple's already collapsed. So in any case, could it go up a little bit? Sure. Amazon could surely go up a little bit, but again, my bets would be on the downside over the next 6 months or so on this stock. And again, earnings will tell a big story. The analyst was saying how they're going to do $1 trillion in revenue. That's all fine and dandy, but the problem is, they're doing $500 billion in revenue right now and barely making any money. PE is well over 100. So when you have a PE over 100 and you're doing $500 billion, all right, so you're going to have a 50 PE doing $1 trillion, you know what I'm saying? Still, a 50 PE is a little ridiculous. Eventually, the market will see that and take care of it. All right. In terms of scalping in the intraday stock chat today, even though it's a quiet day, scalping was amazing, folks. KMB was a nice one we got caught today. Taking a look at Kimberly-Clark. Let's take a look at that. The level on Kimberly-Clark I'll show as soon as my chart pops up here. This was it right here. And again, if I zoom out, look at this, what you're going to see. Here's a gap fill. Look at this. Draw a trend line right there. And that was just one of about 5 or 6 scalps this morning in my session in the intraday stock chat. Imagine you bought right there on that trend line at the gap fill. Look at the size of that bounce. That was an awesome bounce. In addition, another scalp we did today was ESI. ESI, where? The $15 even number. It was a 3-bar surge into the 15 even number. 1, 2, 3. Pierced right there. That was your buy price. That's where I bought it. And again, look at the bounce. Literally off of 15 pierced, it bounced $1. That's a $15 stock. bouncing $1. I mean, if you nail some of these, some of the members in the intraday stock chat held it for over $1 in profit. I mean, just imagine that in one day trade, you're making over $1 on a $15 stock. Ridiculous and awesome. Baidu was another good one, folks. I gave Baidu out this morning as an intraday trade. The day trade on this was a cross of a $100 even number. And again, not only was it an even number cross, but you also had a little bit of a gap fill pivot area right here. There was a very, very good level right here. So if we just draw that trend line here, here's $100 right here at the blue line. It pierced it. You buy, but you buy in the flush through 100, and look at the size of the bounce. This was another amazing bounce back. Baidu literally went from $99.50 all the way back to over 101, nearing 102, believe it or not, right now. All right, so again, these are just a couple of the trades I took this morning that members in the intraday stock chat took. There was really nothing on the spiders. If you go back to the SPY here, taking a look, you can see, again, there was literally no action on the spiders, but on individual stocks, there was a lot of action. It was awesome. Small cap I gave out this morning, CHTP. Take a look at this one, up 10 cents or about 12%. Great move there. We talked about this at about 85 cents, 86 cents right here today. And since then, it's just continued to go up, so about a 10% plus gainer there. In addition, a swing trade, profits were taken on half of the position. RENN, RENN. We took money off the table here after a dramatic 3-bar surge, 1, 2, 3. Once it crossed $4, that was the signal to take off some, and we took half off, a 16.5% profit. And again, if you were in RENN, you're part of the research center. That was a swing trade as opposed to the other ones I'm mentioning, day trade. So money's been flowing in, which is I love. We're back into the normal sessions here in the market. We really don't have any holidays till later. We have one day off later in January. We're back to normal for the most part, and the profits are flowing in. So it's great to see, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Other swing trades that I'm currently holding. Let's take a look at DANG. This is another one. I'm up about 20% on this from where we bought it. A great move on another Chinese small cap. And Rosetta Genomics, ROSG, trading at $4.88 today, guys. I had members in the research center pick it up at $4.25. So, I mean, you're talking about 15 plus to 20% gain on Rosetta Genomics, even if it got above $5 today. At that point, that was a monster gain. All right, looking at trades this afternoon. Let's see if there's anything else out there. Markets, again, are super, super quiet, so I'm just not sure if there's much out there. But let's take a look at Baidu intraday. Nice hit of the 50 MA there, by the way, on the daily on Baidu. Yeah, I mean, Baidu's chart doesn't look horrible, kind of consolidating, maybe a pop into here if the markets get any sort of bid. There's no trade there at this time, though. Let's take a look at Chevron, CVX. Chevron's down $1.20 today. If it dumps into the 200, you might get a little bit of a bounce there. I'm not loving that, though, necessarily. I have to see how it comes into that level. Exxon, let's take a look at that. Exxon might kiss the 200 and get a minor bounce, but nothing really there. Apple, of course, always one to watch. The only way I'd play Apple if it came to double bottom down here later today, that would be a good scalp trade. On the short side, I gave out actually this level just before I got off the mic this morning around 11 that the 50 was a great short, and sure enough, that was a great one. If Apple surged up to the 200, that would be your shorting opportunity on an intraday basis. All right, we're going to get into earnings season shortly, so keep an eye on that. I think next week is really where earnings will start to come out. Aside from that, I'm going to get back to trading, guys. But again, great profitable trading day. There's a 7-day free trial here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. I encourage you to try it. If you're a day trader, it's the Intraday Stock Chat 7-day free trial. If you're a swing trader and want stocks like RENN to go up 16% for you, DANG 20%, Rosetta Genomics 15-20% right now, then you want the Research Center and take the 7-day free trial. All right, guys, have a great afternoon, great evening. Come to InTheMoneyStocks.com where pros are born.